Welcome, ZASLOW Show 2.0. It is a Tuesday, the 3rd of October. Good to have you aboard. We have a lot going on today. We are part of the Believe Podcast Network. And of course, everything ZASLOW Show 2.0 is always presented by Anidjar and Levine, Accident Attorneys, 800-747-FREE. 800-747-3733. If you're dealing with a personal injury, you've been involved in any kind of an accident, if you've had a slip and fall accidents can leave you with serious injuries, excessive medical bills, the inability to work. If your slip and fall occurred due to a hazard that the property's owner or management knew about and failed to correct, you may be able to pursue legal action against that person or business. If it's from a car accident, a motorcycle, boating accident, hit and run. Anidjar and Levine, Accident Attorneys. They're going to treat you like family just like they have me in support of ZASLOW Show 2.0. Anidjar and Levine, Accident Attorneys, 800-747-FREE. 800-747-3733. A lot going on here today. Center of the sports universe, South Florida. Everybody knows that. Last night, Monday Night Football, terrible game. We had the Giants last night. I should say we were never in it. They were in it until the pick six, I suppose. Seahawks win 24-3. But hey, football's back. That's what we're most excited about. Yes, I had the Giants last night. That stinks. But what doesn't stink is Bet Online. Bet Online, your number one information source for all your sports wagering info, all the up-to-the-minute stats, news, scores, and matchup breakdowns. Get the latest game odds, spreads, and totals for all your football, NFL, and college at your fingertips with BetOnline's real-time updates on stats, news, and odds. College football playoff, the Super Bowl. Yep, that's right. BetOnline gives you access all the way through the season for the best football promotions and contests available anywhere online. Head to the BetOnline website today or use your mobile device. Get in on the action. Remember, use our promo code BELIEVE, B-L-E-A-V, to receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. BetOnline, where the game starts. The Marlins are back in the playoffs. I am dialed in tonight. My son's got soccer training this evening. I told my pal, hey, you got to take him. Pick up my son, carpooling tonight. I'm locked into the Marlins tonight. I'm not going anywhere that doesn't involve me sitting on the couch in the ZASLOW Mansion family room, probably in my underwear, definitely Johnny Cuba in my hand. I'm watching the Marlins tonight, 8 o'clock, 8:08 first pitch. If you tune in at 8:09, you miss first pitch. If you tune in at 8:07, you're too early. 8:08 tonight, prime time, ESPN. I like that it's the prime time game. I know my guy Billy Gill on the Levitard show yesterday, he doesn't like it. He wants it earlier. He's a Marlins super fan. I like the prime time. Gonna get through my day. Gonna take care of some stuff I gotta take care of. I don't know. I can't predict what's gonna happen this afternoon. I may be able to accomplish some things. I don't know. And then we sit down on the couch and we're ready for the Marlins tonight. We're going to talk to Jessica Blaylock. Jessica Blaylock, Bally Sports, Florida. She was in the visiting clubhouse the other day with the celebration, so I'm looking forward to hearing how that all went. She looked like she had a great time. I watched all the post-game coverage, and we'll get a preview of this National League Wild Card Series for the Marlins with the Phillies. Very tall order for the Marlins. Phillies, they're the number one wild card team, the number 4 seed overall. The Marlins are the number 5 seed overall. All 3 games, tonight, tomorrow, and then potentially Thursday. They're all 8:08 p.m. ESPN. On the call tonight, it's Carl Ravitch, Eduardo Perez, David Cohn. Buster Olney is on field level giving reports. So that's your crew for the next 2, maybe 3 days. Jesus Luzardo on the hill tonight for the Marlins. A local kid who was traded back to South Florida 2 seasons ago. He's been great this year. Not like they're asking a whole lot of him. Go out and win game 1 against the Philadelphia Phillies, who the Marlins have played really well this year. But Luzardo, local kid, grew up a Marlin fan. Parkland, Marjorie Stoneman Douglas. So, hey, we're all behind you tonight, man. Bring it home, and if the Marlins can get out to a 1-0 series lead, now now you're cooking with gas. So we'll see what happens tonight. I'm very excited about the Marlins. I'm locked in. So, and here's the scenario, okay? Maybe saying, what's that? Because this wild card is new. Best out of 3. You may be saying to yourself, Zaslow, what? The Marlins don't have any home playoff games? Nope. And tickets went on sale for the divisional round. So, yesterday, if the Marlins get through the wild card, they would play the Braves next round. Best out of 5 divisional round. I think those games are going to sell out, or very close to selling out games 3 and 4. I scooped up 3 tickets yesterday. Game 3, NLDS against the Braves. We already know what the opponent would be. It's weird, right? Game 3, NLDS against the Braves. I picked up 3 tickets. I'm not going to lie. We're in the Joy Taylor Memorial seats, upper deck center field, like 5th row. They're great seats for playoffs. Those are the Joy Taylor Memorial seats. Everybody knows that because on an opening day like 10 years ago, she goes and she sits in the upper deck in center field. Joy, you got to represent ZASLOW and Joy show a little bit better than that. I'm sitting up there. It's the playoffs at least, all right? You can't sit up there for a regular season game when you're Joy Taylor. I know Joy Taylor, Hollywood Joy Taylor, there's no way she would be sitting up there. But I already got my tickets. I'm sitting up there. It's a Marlin playoff game. So if they win this series, then they'll get some home games next round, the divisional series. All right, so that's where we stand right now. And like I said, Jessica Blaylock, she's going to join the show coming up, and we'll do a little preview, and we'll also hear about, the celebration last week and that whole deal. It's Tuesday, which means we have an edition of Twitter Jam coming up. We're through week 4 of the NFL season, which means we have a new ZASLOW Show 2.0 power rankings coming up. You know I love a good power ranking, so we got that coming up as well. But let's start out here. Miami Heat Media Day yesterday. That's right. So Miami Heat Media Day yesterday, and we know the whole talk was Jimmy Butler's hair. It's a tradition unlike any other. How is Jimmy Butler going to show up with the hairdo? You only wish he would have done it from like day 1 in Miami. Or I guess it's like, all right, I got to get comfortable. I got to make sure that I like everybody here. So in years 4 and now 5, he shows up. It's now a thing. He even said yesterday, it's his Halloween. And after showing up with the extensions, with the dreads, this year, he's got the flat hair. He says it's his emo look. He's all up in his feelings. He's got pierced eyebrow, pierced nose, pierced lip. It's disgusting. But that's his move now. He treats it like Halloween. And he's effing with all the TV networks. Because he definitely does not have that look anymore today, as training camp officially starts in FAU. And what he's doing, we learned with last year, for those who don't know, Media Day, they do all the pictures, they do all the promotional videos, which all the networks use all throughout the season. It's the same picture, ESPN, TNT, that they use all throughout the season. Sports Center, when they put up a player's picture and then his stats next to him, it's that same picture that's taken on Media Day. So now this year, Jimmy Butler just effing with everybody. The picture that gets used is him with the flat hair and the piercings. So he's screwing with everybody. That's now his thing. Which, and by the way, I say there, it's Jimmy Butler's 5th year. How about this? Jimmy Butler now officially with the Miami Heat longer than LeBron James. How about that? And it was forever ago. It'll be 10 years ago when this season's over. Crazy, right? LeBron was only here 4 years. Jimmy Butler now will have been here longer than LeBron James once this season starts. That's kind of weird when you think about it, right? I love him, though. At some point, I'll roll out my all-time favorite Miami Heat player rankings. Don't worry, Glenn Rice, you are not in jeopardy. You're always number 1. Always my all-time favorite player, Glenn Rice. That's my dog right there. I'll update the all-time Miami Heat favorite Miami Heat player power rankings at some point coming up. But let's hear a little from Jimmy. Let's give you a little bit of sound. We're going to do a bunch of sound today. Get everyone up to speed, what's going on across the NBA, that whole deal. So let's get a little bit from Jimmy. Here he is at the podium yesterday, and he is seemingly in good spirits. He's ready to go.
It's a new year, new season. We came up short. I didn't do my job. We didn't do our job as a whole last year. But it's a new season. I'm excited for it. We'll see y'all in the finals in June. Like I always say, I know what I'm capable of. I know what my guys are capable of. So we'll continue to play basketball as a unit, as a team, and somehow, some way, end up in the finals. This time we're going to win it. And then y'all going to say they got lucky. So I'm prepared for it.
He means it. Like, it's not lip service coming from him. He believes they're going to go back to the finals. We're going to find a way. Whatever the way is, we're going to get back there. And this year we're going to win it. And considering the 4 years, man, it's an arms race in the East. Everyone is surpassing the Heat. The Heat essentially forced Milwaukee and Boston to do what they did this offseason because the Heat bitch slapped them last year in the playoffs. Matter of fact, the Heat have bitch slapped them 2 of the last, 3 years that they faced them over the last 4 seasons in the playoffs. Both those teams. The Heat did it to them in 2020. They did it to them again in 2023. And the 2 years, how about that, man? So the Heat beat both Boston and Milwaukee in 20 and 23. And the years in between are when those teams had their kind of revenge. Milwaukee took us out in 4 and 21. Boston took us out in 7 in 22. I mean, those 3 teams, they're connected, man. And because of what the Heat did to them last year, both of them went out. It's an arms race and said, we were embarrassed again by the Heat. We got to do something huge here, even if it means we're giving up a lot more players that we really love. But Jimmy Butler, he goes, I think also part of it, you see Jimmy Butler up there with the hair, which you're not dressed like that if you're not in a good mood, if you're not in a joking mood, if you don't feel good. And I think Jimmy Butler with the hair kind of signals where he's at, meaning, I'm ready to go. We're going to have some fun. I'm excited about this season. His agent, by the way, and that'll come up a little bit in Twitter Jam, his agent has been very vocal on Twitter as well about Jimmy being happy where he's at and that whole deal. So just the whole team, the Miami Heat. You got other teams out there who will be desperate and make desperate moves for big stars. The Heat would like to make moves for big stars, but they're never doing it out of desperation. We saw that with Lillard and with Holiday too, most likely, where they value a player at a certain price and they're never going to be bullied or convinced to go over what they believe that value is, what that price they believe to be. They're never going to do that. So the Heat are never going to operate from a position of desperation, and the players are, Bam, Jimmy, they're never going to get up there and show any signs of weakness. They're never going to get up there and complain about what they don't have. They always have enough. And that was clearly the message yesterday from both Jimmy and from Bam, of course from the head coach, Eric Spoelstra. It's what I love about this team, about the main guys on this team, the players on this team, the head coach. They take this game, they take basketball seriously the way that Heat fans want them to look at it. They don't complain. They don't make excuses. They are ready to work. They expect to get back to the championship round. Nobody goes out in the media. We don't have this. We don't have this. I'm not going to sign this, extension this, trade me this, trade me that. They don't do any of it. I mean, the one guy who maybe you would think would do something like that refused to speak yesterday, and Kyle Lowry. I mean, get the hell out of here, Kyle Lowry. Oh, my God. The whole, here's the thing with Lowry, all right? It's a bigger picture. Do I want to hear from Lowry? No, I don't ever want to hear from Kyle Lowry. But there's a bigger picture here. Everyone on the team, it's media day. It's a day that you get in front of the cameras, the team introduces itself, maybe get the fans pumped up. Kyle Lowry makes $30 million. He refuses to speak yesterday. He was there. He refuses to speak. He's the only guy on the team who's exempt from having to do media yesterday. Nothing. You can't get up there and pretend to be excited about this coming season. If he's upset that the Heat are interested in trading him, there's a reason why they're interested in trading you. You've been terrible. You're stealing money. of this guy already. And I'll tell you, the Heat would love to get rid of him. They'd get rid of him for nothing, just to get off the salary. But the thing is, nobody wants him. Why would anyone want him? What can they possibly get for Kyle Lowry? And that's why I said yesterday on Twitter, James Harden didn't show up in Philadelphia. I am not a James Harden guy. I do not like him. I don't particularly want to have to root for him. But if it meant moving off of Lowry, I would strongly consider Harden, because he's still a lot better than Kyle Lowry. I would strongly consider Harden if it meant not having to watch Kyle Lowry play basketball with a Miami Heat uniform on anymore. Now, that's not going to happen. If Philadelphia is holding out the way they're holding out, it's for something a lot more than Kyle Lowry, because I'm not giving up any kind of real assets for James Harden. I would give up Lowry, and that's it. Like, it's not going to happen. I'm just saying. That's how bad I would want Lowry off this team. I would watch James Harden on a nightly basis rather than have Kyle Lowry on this team. But it's a big... I don't want to hear from Kyle Lowry. I don't ever want to hear from Kyle Lowry. But there's a bigger picture here. He has never ingratiated himself to this fan base, to this city, or made it seem like he's here for anything other than money, golf, and eventually good weather, and eventually retiring. Let me ask you something. You're a Heat fan right now. Do you ever remember him in the Bally Sports winner's circle after a game, doing the on-court interview with Jeremy Taché or Will Manso? Do you remember him doing it one time in the 2 years that he's been on this team? Has he done a single post-game interview on the floor? I could tell you, now I wouldn't know this past year because I wasn't on the radio team anymore, but Lowry's first year with the team, we get a radio guest after every single win. He did not do radio after a win one time his first year here. Not a single time. I also know for a fact he has not done a single interview on any radio shows, on 560 Sports WQAM or 2 years ago on 790 A Ticket. Not a single radio interview. He's here to play golf, have good weather, get paid $30 million, and eventually retire. There's a bigger picture, which is why it bothers me that he's not doing the media. He is bare minimum, since he got here, has made zero effort to ingratiate himself to the fan base. And, it bothers me. All the stuff that I love about this team, how serious they take basketball, how much they love basketball, and how much they love their fan base. Kyle Lowry exudes none of it. None of it. Get off this team already. I can't believe we're doing this on day one of training camp already. Because I'm going into this season excited. Wanted Lillard. Didn't work out. I'm excited to see what Jaquez looks like. I'm excited to see what Jovic looks like. I think Josh Richardson is going to be an upgrade over Gabe Vincent, who I really liked, but I think Richardson's going to be an upgrade. I'm looking forward to what Kevin Love looks like, a full offseason and training camp with the team. And I'm really looking forward to Tyler Herro, who's going to be awesome. I am really looking forward to this season. And hopefully, the reason that Lowry didn't speak to the media yesterday is because he's about to be traded. You gotta have your fingers crossed. But I'm excited about this season. So let me give you a little bit more from Jimmy. Here's Jimmy. This is through NBA TV with Taylor Rooks, who is, oh my God, she's phenomenal. So pretty. Here is Jimmy with Taylor Rooks about how he's feeling emotionally.
All right, Jimmy Butler, we're going to have to begin with the obvious, which is a new look for you. Before we started, you said this was your emo stage. What does that look like for you?
Just emotional right now. A lot have gone on in the past week with basketball. So, I'm in wearing all black, and then my emotions,
the Bucks have tampered,
just show.
If you could name those emotions just that you have gone through within the past week, what are those emotions? So much has happened.
I was excited, and then angry, and then sad, and then excited again, and then pissed off, and then sad again. And now I'm excited. You just can't tell because I'm not smiling, but I'm very happy.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about this roller coaster of emotions that I'm sure you have felt. Starting with obviously the news of the Damian Lillard trade, that he will be going to the Bucks. But what was your just initial reaction when you saw that? And then who do you direct those emotions to?
I don't tell anybody how I feel. I just handle it accordingly. But I am happy for Dame to be somewhere where, you know, he's wanted, where he has a chance to win a championship. I'm also happy for Adrian Griffin because, you know, to be a first-year head coach and have some guys like you have, good for you. But, you know, I'm still going to be me. I'm going to go beat Dame, Giannis, and Adrian Griffin. On our way to a title, like I've said every single year, and I mean it this year like I've meant it every other year. But the emotions, we got to use that. It's got to fuel us, and we'll go get it done.
He really is the best. I love him so much. It's crazy. How do you not like him? It's crazy how you think one thing about a guy, and look, his behavior to get out of Minnesota was what it was, but we saw with Lillard, like, that's the way, and we're seeing it with Harden. You have to behave that way. I don't like it, but you have to behave that way if you want to get what you want. But it's crazy to think, you think one thing about a guy, and then you realize what he's actually like. The reality is, he's a crazy competitor and only accepts being super serious about winning, even if it means being an asshole when it comes to winning. And how does he show up yesterday? He looks ridiculous. Obviously in a great mood if you're willing to look ridiculous. If you're willing to get piercings in your face, obviously he's in a great mood. And then he tells you after losing out on Damian Lillard, he's happy for Lillard. He's in a great scenario. He's happy for the new head coach, Adrian Griffin. He's in a great scenario. And then he tells you he's still going to beat Milwaukee. I love him so much. He is everything I love in a basketball player. That's my dog right there. I love Jimmy Butler. Man. So they begin training camp today at FAU. And as far as Tyler Herro goes, look, Herro said all the right things yesterday. He's ready to roll. What I did find interesting, he wasn't 100% ready to return until a month after the finals ended. Because remember, I thought we were going to see him for Game 4 and was surprised that we didn't. So he wasn't ready. But this doesn't matter. Like, if you think that Tyler's got some kind of hard feelings, he shouldn't. But if he does, this organization, this is not a problem. They will make sure Tyler has no hard feelings. And he's going to be awesome. And the crowd loves him. When Tyler Herro plays well, it excites the crowd like no one else on this team. The crowd loves him. Tyler is going to be just fine.